Welcome to the Let's Go Ricky Rowe podcast. That's Ricky Romero, baseball veteran for the Toronto Blue Jays, 2011 All-Star, the pride of East LA. I'm Beto Duran, the co-host. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, who are these guys? Right? You're wondering. And if you're one of our fans, one of our listeners, or one of our old friends from the podcast, the Let's Go Ricky Rowe podcast, we had season 1 where we went and spoke with all your friends. For season 2, and you're like, wait, seasons? What are you guys doing? Baseball, you have your seasons, right? That's what we're doing. So for this year, we decided to step it up. Technology, right? We're not going to be the old people who are just saying, let's do it one way. We're going to give people video. We're going to give people audio. We're going to do more on social media with you guys and interact with you. And what I learned, Rick, as we were trying to figure out what we want to do with this podcast is that the old people my age in the 40s, are listening to the podcast. People your age in the 30s are doing a little bit of both. And then the young kids, all they care about is YouTube.
Yeah.
So we're figuring it out. We're evolving here.
Yeah, you have to evolve. But yeah, no, it's true. I mean, even talking to my sister this past weekend, we go out to breakfast, and she talks about how much the YouTube influencers are like crazy nowadays. And shoot, you're even watching boxing fights where these guys are selling out arenas. YouTube influencers. So figure we'd dive a little bit into it. So just, we get a little bit of everything that's going on. I don't want to be a YouTube influencer by any means, none of that. But it's kind of cool that we can expand a little bit of the using the technology, not just for podcasts, but obviously having a little YouTube channel. I've seen a few guys from a few baseball players who have dove into that, and from Trevor Bauer to Tim Anderson, listening to him on the CC podcast. So it's just a little thing that obviously you and I want to try, and we'll see how it goes. We'll roll with it.
It's going to go with it. So if you're wondering, like, okay, if I heard you guys on the podcast, where were you guys at from September through, March? Well, next episode we'll talk about that. Right now, let's give you the intro of who this guy is. So for me, I'm a sports reporter based in LA. That's all you need to know. I'm going to be the guy talking a lot. I use my hands a lot, so watch out with that. Now, Ricky is a 2011 All-Star, but what year did you get drafted?
2005.
2005, and if you're wondering what's going on here, we are in his man cave at his house in Southern California, and the reason we chose this backdrop is because that is your Toronto Blue Jay jersey, right?
That is, yeah. Debut.
That's your debut jersey.
Debut jersey.
What year?
2009.
2009.
It's a long time, huh?
Where was it at?
It was in Toronto against the Detroit Tigers. The scorecard is there. Saved a few tickets. The other one's the All-Star Game jersey, the BP jersey from the 2011 All-Star Game, along with the team picture of the whole American League team that represented the American League that year. And then behind you is a little, just a little plaque of autographs.
It looks heavy.
When you get there, you sign this little card, and I guess they engrave it into that, and that's everyone's autograph. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the top is the famous bat that I got my first base hit with in St. Louis. With the I retired the batting gloves too and everything. So
how many major league hits do you have?
2.
We'll bring that up a lot of topics. This is right here. You have your own bobblehead.
Yeah.
What was this at?
It was in
obviously Toronto, but
yeah, in 2012 they released it. Obviously really cool. You know, East LA kid, people lining up, waiting for you for your bobblehead day that day, and just seeing the excitement of people being able to collect it. It was I thought it was pretty cool.
It was it's something that you said you don't even have one, right? You have the box.
I don't even have the one in my...
You don't even have one displayed here.
My son took it and put it in his room. He said he wanted it in his room. So, but I have... Actually, in my parents' house, they have a box saved up because they wanted... When they gave them out, the Blue Jays set aside a whole box. And I've given out a few over time. So I don't even know how many I have left. But there's a box at their house that they kind of saved up. I don't know how... Like I said, there's probably a few left. So, but I'm hoping that I keep them and then give one to... Diego, Sebastian has one already, and just maybe they can pass them on to their generations.
Now let's talk about that day, and we'll talk about the podcast and everything else. But you see, if you're here with us, we're just going to start rambling around, go all kinds of other stuff. But this bobblehead day, did you pitch that day?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. No. It was. I think it was a day game in Toronto, and beautiful day. I think I remember, and I remember you just walk in and then they're like, oh, look, it's your bobblehead. And you start seeing it and it really doesn't hit you. And then you go outside and play catch, shag BP, and then people are like waiting for you to sign it. And you're just like, whoa, like this is real, you know? Like,
was there one of you in the minors or anything like that? No, because back then bobbleheads were just barely starting to come up. Now everybody gets one every day.
You would think that, you would think like now the way that they make bobbleheads, I would have one, but I stunk through my minor league career. So I was never a big name, I was never a big name in the sense that I put up crazy numbers. So nobody, I mean, New Hampshire is where I spend most of my time. I doubt they're gonna ever have a bobblehead of mine because my numbers were terrible.
Terrible. So did you like throw out the first pitch for this day or anything like that?
Did I? Maybe.
Or is it just like whatever? Like,
I don't think I threw out the first pitch.
Okay.
I used to catch every first pitch.
Okay.
So maybe I caught somebody's first pitch. Maybe I chose somebody. I don't remember.
But everybody always says, okay, when you practice your autographs, right? A little kid, I'm practicing my autograph. You practice how to write on a baseball. Mm-hmm. How do you autograph with your own bobblehead? Like, isn't it weird looking back at you?
There's a little. I mean, it's kind of hard, but a lot of people like the side of the head, or like the bill of the hat.
Okay.
That's kind of the.
These are the kind of random questions I'm asking. If you're wondering, like, what am I watching right now? I don't care about the millions that he made. I worry about where do you sign the bobblehead. That's what matters. So you get a bobblehead.
And in that year now they have like 5 bobbleheads
every week. There's one.
Yeah. So that year it was, you see right there, the 2012 collectible bobblehead series. It was myself, it was Yunel Escobar, and it was Brandon Morrow.
That's cool.
So that was a 3. And then if you collected all of them, you kind of put the logo together. That was the whole thing. Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. So the Ricky Romero bobbleheads are out there somewhere. Your background: you grew up in East Los Angeles, California. Mm-hmm. Went to Cal State Fullerton, mm-hmm. national champion. Mm-hmm. You like to remind everybody about that, especially if they went to Long Beach State.
I like to remind my wife about that.
Why?
Why? Because she went to 3 national championships, I think, and she didn't win one at UCLA soccer.
So she went to 3?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like to remind her that I have one of those, and then she drops I have a degree. Whatever. From
UCLA, Carla Lang Romero is his wife, Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame. So she'll be coming around here. Eventually, she'll pop onto the podcast. Now, let's get back to this. You played in the major leagues how many years?
4 plus.
4 plus.
Yeah.
Injuries ended your career, mm-hmm. elbow, knee,
mm-hmm.
everything else. You can go back and listen to Let's Go Ricky Roll podcast. We talk about that. You're transitioning now into a part of your career or your life where you're now an ambassador for the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah. I've been fortunate enough that they bring me back for a lot of events. Last summer, if you go back and listen to some episodes, we talk about how I was in different places all across Canada, and I've been to more places than I ever thought existed in Canada, from Winnipeg to Saskatchewan. Man, it's cool. It's cool that they bring me back. I do a lot of alumni events back in Toronto too, whenever there's meet and greets with certain fans, and bring me this in January we were in Toronto for Winterfest, so they bring the current players, old school players, and they all mix us up together, and then we have FanFest, and it's always cool. Toronto, the Toronto Blue Jays is in such a unique spot because you represent the whole country, and
that's right.
And you go anywhere you go, you see that logo. Anywhere in Canada you go to Vancouver, you see that logo. You go to the
Halifax,
or you go to the middle part of Canada, you see the Toronto Blue Jay hat, and it probably didn't hit me till after I was done playing. Now that I'm doing these events, and I'm like, man, this logo's everywhere, and the influence that we were able to have on people when I was playing, and it made me realize, like, wow, this is really cool. You're known throughout a whole nation. Maybe not everybody, because hockey's still the king sport there, but it's pretty cool when you go to the little different cities and they know who you are.
That's real cool. I never really thought about that in that perspective where you talk about having known you in the group chat, and the way you're saying, I'm in this town and these people are like here, there, mm-hmm. or kids now coming up to you, hey, I watched you.
Yeah. And
like, wait a minute, you're in the major leagues. I'm not that old.
Or yeah, I mean, when you think about it, those kids now are in their, I don't know, mid-20s.
What's the kid from the Braves?
Oh, Mike Soroka.
Mike Soroka, who was like, Ricky,
Well, he wasn't like that, but I remember.
I'm selling it.
But I remember when we met him at Dodger Stadium, and he was like, "Man, I used to watch you a lot when I was growing up," and I was like, "Holy shit!" You know, like, it's crazy to think that some of those kids that were watching you pitch at that time are now in the big leagues, and I thought it was a pretty cool moment. We exchanged numbers and everything, and tremendous pitcher.
You don't really realize that, because when you're playing, you're so focused on, let me go pitch, let me lock in, this and that. You don't realize the impact that you have.
Exactly.
There, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I get social media comments sometimes like, "Oh, like my era was Ricky Romero, JP Arancibia, blah blah blah." Other players during that time, and I'm like, holy, because I don't feel that old.
You're right. You're early 30s. You still got you're left-handed. You got 10 more years than you.
Jeez.
15 maybe.
Just
your Roscoe style.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, the way baseball is going right now, who knows if they value that anymore.
You're right. So what do you do now? You run around, chase two kids.
And like I said, I'm just kind of briefly discussed yesterday with the people in Toronto the little schedule that we're going to have throughout the summer. It's going to be a fun one again. Going to be going to some places I've never been to in Canada. And I'm looking forward to that. What we do is they host different camps in all these cities, baseball camps for little kids. So we go and we're the ones that help out. And I got a pitching station. JP will sometimes do the hitters, and whoever the alumni from Homer Bush, George Bell, Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield. I mean, it's just a lot of...
So you guys are actually doing the teaching?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
You're actually working.
I thought you guys would just show and go.
No.
Sign some autographs and leave, no?
No. We're there the whole time.
Oh, wow.
We get there at a certain time. It's like a baseball camp, and
that's cool.
You teach.
For these kids, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, you lead it off, and they go off of you. Yeah, they have their teaching methods, and then we follow that.
All right, so this off season, what did you do? We ended up the first season of the Let's Go Ricky Roll podcast, ended in September. We had Mickey Story, who was the pitching coach in the Astros organization. Next episode, we're going to go...
Well, he was a manager.
He was a manager
in AAA.
In AAA, and he was up with the big leagues. Mm-hmm. Next episode, we're going to talk about the Astros and the cheating and all the other scandals that's going on. But this off season... What did you do? You were around with the Blue Jays a lot doing.
I still did a lot of. I did a winter tour and Winter Fest. Winter Fest is obviously the Fans Fest. Winter tour was we went to Calgary and we did an event there where you.
Wait, you're in Canada in the winter?
Yeah, it's freezing, man.
Like 10 below?
Oh yeah, easy, yeah, easy.
That's on a hot day.
It's all, like I said, it's always fun when you go to the city.
Up?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah. But it was JP and I as the alumni, and then I think 5 current players. So obviously everyone's there to see them. We could do some stuff on the side, but it's mostly about them. And I don't like to take the attention away from guys on the current team. But they asked us if we would go and do it, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. And what else? What else was
How's the golf game?
Still.
No?
Work in progress. I've taken some few lessons.
You've taken lessons?
Oh, yeah. But it's still a little suspect. It's just tough to get out there and play 18.
You got 2 little kids. How old is Sebastian?
Sebastian's 4.
And Diego?
He's going to be 1 in like 3 weeks.
He's not 1 yet?
No.
That kid is like size 5'8". He's like 5'8" or something like that right now, right? He's a monster.
He's a monster, yeah. But other than that, I mean... trying to think.
You invested? You got a cider?
We invested in a cider company. Yeah, my wife and I. 101 cider. Yeah, it's 0 sugar and it's got probiotics. Yeah, and it's really cool. Like the story behind it. Actually, the creator of it is from Canada, and
101cider.com. Sour fruity freshments.
Yeah, it's fermented. It's pretty much. Yeah, you can. It's pretty much fermented juice. And there's nothing added to it. No, like I said, it's 0 sugar. It's
sugar in this?
Pretty cool.
Is it gonna get me buzzed?
It gets you buzzed. It's got this one has 6.9% alcohol in it. It's crazy, man.
Wait. This is.
I've drank like 5 of those, 6 of those, and you feel it, but no hangover.
Apple, pears, basil, hibiscus, and lemon peel. I'm about to drink.
That's it. That's all that's in it. It might be that one might be a little sour. Yeah.
This is sour, yeah?
Yeah. There's no sweet ones. Yeah. I mean, there's the Sunlit one's really, really good.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So we're going to have Beto getting drunk here in a little bit. He's going to start feeling it.
Keto? All right, keto, I don't know how you say it, but friendly, vegan, 100% pressed juice, not filtered, non-GMO. You got to get the non-GMO.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's got a lot of cool things, man. And that's why we, more Cara, you know, she's obviously a holistic nutritionist, so she's into all that healthy stuff. And we heard the idea.
The second sip is better.
We heard the idea of it, and it was, bam, but we're doing it.
So you're investing in cider.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm making big boy moves now, man.
That's the adult stuff you got to do, right? Growing up sucks, doesn't it? Okay, didn't you feel like when you were younger, when you're in the minor leagues, like you're not worried about what happens in your 30s, right? It's like all in the blink of an eye.
Well, no, just because I think at the time, you know, when you make it up to the big leagues in 2009, you believe in yourself as a player that you're going to play for the next 10, 15 years, you know, and obviously for me it didn't happen. It was brief and short, and I look back sometimes and I'm like, man, like it went by fast. Like it just, you think it's like going by slow some days, but that's why I think from day one to the last day I stepped in the clubhouse as a player, I enjoyed it, man. I would show up early just to sit there and stare at my jersey and look at it and be like, man, like this is really cool. Or walk out to the stadium, even though if it was a Rogers Center and I'd been there a million times, like I'd look around and I was like, I get to play in front of like this stadium.
Rogers Center is huge, right?
It's huge.
Like Dodger Stadium have the different layers.
Yeah.
And you go out there when it's empty.
Yeah, I mean,
like for me as a sports reporter, and I've said this many times, when you go into a building by itself, it's quiet.
Quiet, yeah.
And it's just one person, whether it's you running or somebody shooting or whatever it is. It's like 5 hours before they even open up the gates. It's huge, but it's just so cool how quiet it is, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just because I would always say tell myself, I would always say, I'm running around here in like 3 hours. This place is gonna be going crazy, you know. And yeah, man. Or even like going to Yankee Stadium and getting there early when nobody's there, and you just start staring around, and you're just like, whoa. You know, you try not to get too caught up in it because that's what the Yankees want you to do. You know, get caught up in it, and next thing you know, you're like, whoa, the Babe Ruths, the Lou Gehrig's, and
the
all
Monument
that.
Park.
Yeah. I walked around it once, and then I was like, all right, I'm good. Now I gotta treat this as like Derek Jeter is a guy I gotta get out.
Did you pitch good at Yankee Stadium?
I did a few times. I mean, I threw a complete game there. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we won't bring Fenway. I hate Fenway.
Fenway. Yeah, Fenway. Just always. I mean, I had
great city, great park.
One or two good outings there, but the rest were was rough. But it was always fun pitching there. I mean, the atmosphere there is electric every time. And during those years, they were really, really good. You know, from Big Papi to Kevin Youkilis, Dustin Pedroia in his prime. I mean, godly, they were really good.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the Let's Go Ricky Rowe podcast. If you have a chance and you're watching this for the first time, go back and listen to the actual podcast. Season 1, we had CC Sabathia on. We had a bunch of different players. Ricky's teammates that he grew up with in Canada. And the first season, we were trying to figure out our footing. What were we doing? And we didn't want to put out episodes just because a lot of people do that just because. But so off season, what do? You work out. Retool, you figure out what you want to do, and incorporating the audio, incorporating the video, different elements for you. And now with technology, we can go anywhere and do this kind of stuff and figure things out. So we're going to continue to do more for you. There are stickers available. We haven't made them yet, but they're Let's Go Ricky Rowe stickers out there.
We have a group chat amongst us, me, Beto, and a few other friends. And
man, forget those guys. I don't like those guys.
We clown Beto a lot because of these stickers that he decided to make. And it's just funny because the guy started mailing them to different people.
I created a buzz, right? The Let's Go Ricky Rowe podcast stickers are out there. I sent some to our boy Nolan in Toronto.
Did you really?
Heck yeah. What's the name of his bar?
Baby Huey's.
Huey's.
Is it? I mean, he's got so many.
Okay, Nolan Lynch, all your bars, I sent him a stack. We're gonna have Let's Go Ricky Rowe.
You better.
There's some in Vermont. I did guerrilla marketing for this.
Nice.
And people were wondering, did the podcast go away? I wouldn't answer them, but the stickers are alive. So they're out there. The first batch were for the friends and family. More are gonna come, and stickers are expensive.
Are they?
So I'm going to invoice the group chat for you fools that keep talking smack about me. I'm being proactive. So forget you. You know who you are. Ain't no mentiras in this one. We're going to keep on going. So 101 Cider is the official sponsor of the podcast. They don't know that, but we just decided it. Ricky's an investor in it. And this one right here, the Cactus Rose. You can buy them anywhere.
Cactus Rose. Yeah, you can.
I'm sorry. Cactus Rose.
Yeah, Rose. Get it right.
101cider.com is you're going to check it out, find out where you can buy it.
Yeah, there are different places.
All right, so next episode, we're going to be talking about what happened with the Astros. What's going on in the season? What's going on in baseball? The technology. Keep on going. We're going to have guests some weeks we're not. If we do, cool. If we don't, cool. No matter what, though, Let's Go Ricky Roll podcast is back.
It's back.
You all right?
Let's do it. Ready.
All right, so thank you for watching episode 1. Episode 2 probably come out in like 8 months. We'll see you guys later.